Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about Doctor Strange's third eye. Well, we are now about a week out of the release of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and we're going to talk a little bit about the third eye featured in the film. If you haven't seen the film, it's a great time to click away because this is going to be spoiler filled, but this particular aspect of Doctor Strange is massive in the comics and might have pretty far-reaching implications in the MCU. Now, during Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, when he faces off against Sinister Strange has this really weird third eye on his forehead. Now, if you're familiar with the comics, you've totally seen this before, but they seem to have taken their own path with this inside the MCU. And I believe it will be distinctly different from the comic book version of the same aspect. Now, in the comics, the third eye is the Eye of Agamotto. Yes, the same eye that was part of the amulet in the first film. You may have noticed Doctor Strange still has this amulet, even though it doesn't have the Infinity Stone anymore. But let's back up a little bit and talk about the Eye's comic book origin. In the early days of the Sorcerer Supreme's comic, the Eye of Agamotto took on an appearance of a literal eyeball, and when Strange would use it, it would float up to his forehead, much like it was at the end of Multiverse of Madness. Now, this is a pretty deep dive into Strange's early comic book days, but for fans of the Sorcerer Supreme, it is a pretty big deal. Now, obviously, the Eye of Agamotto granted Strange a ton of powers, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to probably put its own twist on all of this. Firstly, it could just be an update to his look. I mean, Spider-Man got new costumes, Wanda Maximoff has even summoned her own comic-accurate suit, and Tony Stark had, well, a whole library of Iron Man suits. So I really don't have a problem with Doctor Strange kind of getting this upgrade to his look. But let's be clear, it's awfully creepy, and the path in the MCU is quite different. Now, before we talk about that though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, the big giveaway. We're going to give away an Oculus Quest 2 at 50,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on the giveaway is be a subscriber and leave us a comment. Now, like we were saying, clearly in the MCU, Marvel is going to put somewhat of a different spin on this eye, and I think we could look to its initial appearance for some ideas. I did notice in the What If series that version of Doctor Strange sported that eye as he started to drift into a realm of a more unhinged sorcerer and just kind of downright evil. And I think that kind of is exactly what's going on here. The Sinister Strange we met on the alternate Earth had dabbled with the darkhold, and I believe the darkhold is directly responsible for this happening. I don't think it's going to be a good thing. The darkhold totally corrupted that version of Doctor Strange, and we've seen its corrupting power on several other characters in the MCU, including other versions of Strange as well as Wanda Maximoff. So when our Doctor Strange used the darkhold to defeat the Scarlet Witch, he opened up a can of worms that I don't think he can close so easily. I actually think in the MCU, this third eye is going to be a corrupting factor for Doctor Strange. When it appeared in the post-credit scene, it was clearly painful, and not a good thing for the Doctor. Plus, it wasn't any less creepy. But I do think this is going to be a kind of challenge for Doctor Strange to face off against this darkness from the darkhold that has now corrupted an aspect of his magical self. I think when Steven used the darkhold, he actually opened the door to this, and because of that, he's going to obviously have to offer up some kind of penance to remove the eye from his psyche. I actually think because Clea and Dormammu are clearly going to be part of the third film, this dark challenge will be a centerpiece of that third installment of Doctor Strange. Now, obviously, most of this is speculation right now, and we don't really have anything confirmed, but many people have been asking about that third eye, and I don't think it bodes well for Doctor Strange. Now, it could still just be the MCU version of the Eye of Agamotto. That's totally possible, but it was clearly a painful revelation for Strange, and I don't think his interaction with the Darkhold will go unpunished. But until we know more, what do you guys think? Do you think the third eye we saw in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is the original Eye of Agamotto? Or do you think this is some kind of corruption from the Darkhold? I gotta be honest guys, that's exactly what I think. Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not gonna get any updates. Peace.